Welcome back, Internet. I am Keeney, and this is my garage. Today, the garage brings to us the 2012 Jeep Wrangler. The story goes, it has a misfire on cylinder 3. Brief history said about 2 years ago, there was a misfire on some particular cylinder. He went ahead based on, I guess, mileage, replaced all plugs and all coils, and the misfire went away. That was about 2 years ago. About 3 weeks ago, it got another misfire, and supposedly all of the ignition coils and all of the spark plugs have been replaced this time, but we still have a cylinder number 3 misfire. I just done a pre-check on her, did a code scan, and very, very brief data monitor while I pulled it in the shop. So we can see it's got a cylinder 3 misfire code, and it's got an ionization code. I forget, we'll look at it here in a second. And under most conditions, it looks like the computer is turning off injector number 3 as well. If you do like a blip or a tip in, it'll activate injector 3. But we can glance at that data. Freeze frame is, I guess, not really a main concern on this one. It also didn't pull anything helpful. But let's jump over to the scan tool, do a quick recap, pull some service info, maybe some wiring, and get going after this old misfire. There's our computers. Here's our codes. We got a 2308 and a 303. Ignition coil 3, secondary circuit, insufficient ionization, some lights, tire pressure, and that's about it. We can jump into engine computer and wait forever for the thing apparently to load. We'll do some live data. And, I did save some misfire parameters. That's cool. So let's watch injector pulse 3. Probably will, let's do that on a graph. Well, that's a useless scale. Let's do min of 0 and the max of, these are microseconds. So it'd be like 1,000 microseconds. So let's do 5,000. I think that would be the right scale. And then I think if we just go ahead and fire this whole thing up. Yeah, so you can see, boom, there it was. Can I freeze this? I can freeze it. There we can see she jumps up and then detects a misfire and then shuts it off down to 0. So now if I go to resume, it's at 0 right now. So seems like it's shutting it off on cylinder 3. I assume based on that misfire. That's what we got. So I'm going to go pull some service info and come back whenever I figure whatever that weird ionization code means. I must acknowledge, I thought this was going to be a little bit more interesting than it seems it may be. Apparently, these coils only got 2 wires going to them. The constant power from ASD and a pulsed ground. So power from up top, individual coil control from engine computer, and the service info says that the PCM monitors the spark line, the burn time on this thing, and so at first I was like, that's really impressive. And then I feel like somewhere 20 some years ago or 15 some years ago, there was a discussion I had in school about that stuff where like that actually might be able to calculate burn time on some of these cars. I don't remember where I heard that, but it almost sounded familiar. Anyway, if that's actually the case, that's cool as shit because it's doing what we're about to do with a spark line on a scope trace. So with all that said, firing order and such, we're going cylinder number 3, which is right bank, middle cylinder. Let's go get the scope hooked up and see what kind of control and such we got there. Well, I don't know how well you can hear me because I got the heater on because I'm cold in here, so she's blowing. Looking at cylinder 3, I ain't touched nothing yet, just grabbing the scope. But as you can see, it looks like there might be some JB weld or something on there. If she will focus, there's something on there holding that together. So I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. We'll figure out a way to get that connector off, and then actually we'll probably try and back probe it by getting the bracket and stuff out of the way first, and then we have to yank that connector off there and break something out of there. Oh, we got the bracket out of the way. We have what I think is our ASD power popped into our scope. I don't know 100% because wiring diagram colors are wrong, but pretty sure. So hopefully when we key on, we should get 12 volts on that thing. So key is now on. What do we got? Oh, look at that. We had a jump. ASD power went high to 12, 13, got a battery charger on it, and then went low. I assume that's just because ASD doesn't stay on the whole time. Let us turn it off. Key is off. Turn key back on again and see if she jumps back up. Make sure I got good connection. She did. That's cool. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other wire. So now we're going to go on what should be control, I think. And we'll reset this. Now, same thing when I key on. I assume that coil will not be energized, which means we should have a 12 volt pass through. We do have a 12 volt pass through. And so in this case, we know we got power into the coil. You can see, whatever. She's down. That one over there. So we had power into the coil and power out of the coil. So that tells us the primary side of the coil is good. I suppose in this case, we're going to make sure none of our stuff falls into the engine, which we should be all right. And I'll get you propped up somewhere, whatever. We're going to go inside. Oh, yeah, not that it probably matters at all, but the little stuff on the side of that connector is silicone, so that should peel off real quick in the event we got to take that connector off. We're in the car. I got to reset my scales. We're still on what should be the control side of that coil. We will fire the engine up, see what kind of pattern we look at. Let's go 200 volts. Let's go 50 milliseconds. Let's hit trigger. You can't see anything that I'm doing. We'll do that. And I don't think anything's going to fall in the engine. Let's get this thing fired. Are you kidding me? Well, apparently we have a bad battery connection or something because I just lost power. Well, hey, just in case you're curious, we've got a pretty loose cable, so let's fix that. Okay, hopefully we have a battery connection now. They're still kind of loose, but whatever. Alright, key is off. Key is going on. We got jump up to 12, and it should drop back to 0. It did. I'm going to try and start. And we are starting. And wow, we have no control on this thing at all. She's sitting at 14, 17, 13 volts. It's zoomed that pretty far. Sitting at 14 volts. All right, well, that's curious. Let's go. We got key on, the engine off. Let's see what happens if we erase codes. Stored code. Interesting. So it's erase. Yes, yes. I don't remember erasing code to. Oh, we just had a battery disconnect. Oh, yeah, so code should have been cleared because we just had a battery disconnect. Let's go back to the scope. And we're going to fire it up again. Oh yeah, she ain't got no control on there. I'll zoom out a bit, 100 milliseconds. Like she got some noise, but well, I guess we turn it off. In this case, we will probably go to the engine computer and see if we got coil control at the engine computer. Okay, channel A over coil, channel B. Had to pull the back cap off, and all the wire colors are wrong on the diagram. So I think that connector is plugged in there pretty good, and I think we're on the right same wire there. So A is control at coil, B is control at PCM. Let's turn this on. We got our attenuator. We'll hit 200 volts. And if we key on, they should both touch 12. Oh. Well, did you see that? So either I got a bad connection or we got an open. Let me go figure out which one of the two it is. Seems I just had bad connection because they're both matching now. I zoomed out, but I was just twisting this whole thing around and pulling her in and out, and she was. Oh, by the way, so we've got our ASD relay control stick because it only comes on with key on. So we have commanded that to on to do our testing over here. And if I zoom out a little bit, if I hit off, they drop. And then if I hit on, they rise together. Both of them are right next to each other. I'll re-zero them. So I'm going to wiggle this wire. I think I got a pretty good connection up in there now. It's in there pretty good. Let's go back inside and crank it. All right. Testing again. Key is off. Roll the key to on. We're zoomed in pretty far. Both of them jump up. Let's go ahead and crank. Ooh. What in the world? Are you kidding me? It's fixed. I don't know what happened. No, it's working. And it runs smooth. Maybe we got a loose connection. I'm going to go out there while letting it idle and wiggle some wires and see if I can get a dropout, but I don't know what just happened. Well, I have no idea what happened with this freaking thing. I've absolutely no clue. Wiggled all the wires, wiggled the coil connector, wiggled what I think is the inline connector, push pulled, wiggled PCM connector, pin drug test PCM connector. It's tight. It's as tight as all the others. I don't even know what happened. So I'm going to put it all back together and see if it still works after I'm done doing that. I found the intermediate connector roll. I buttoned everything else up back together. It's firing. There's no freaking trouble codes in this thing. Read codes. No codes. Cars are done. This is useless. I'll catch you in the next video.